Welcome back, Proppers. Today's project will be stay tuned for breaking news. I'm stepping in front of the cameras before this project to give you a couple of forewarnings. First of all, I'm doing this all by scratch. I'm not making any templates ahead of time, so it's going to be a bit clumsy. So if you're one of those people who like to build your project and go along with the video, I recommend you watch the entire video so you don't make a lot of unnecessary steps that I had to undo during the process here. The second thing is that I ordered some contact cement online because it was cheaper, and it's not going to get here for a couple of days, so I have to use what I have left of my residual contact cement, which a lot of it has already gotten a little gummy and thick. So it's made this project a little clumsy. So expect that ahead of time and give me a little bit of a break on that. Now that you've been warned, let's move ahead with the project. Oh, didn't I mention the project is a critter from the movie Critters. I'm starting out by outlining my concept of the main body into 6mm EVA foam. This will actually be the back of the critter, but I want to leave enough foam to actually wrap around to get some of the sides also. In this main section, I'll also include his stubby little legs. I'll be making the arms separately and attaching them to the main body. In order to create symmetry, I'm going to fold over the foam and mark out a mirror image for the other side. After cutting out the form, I use my heat gun so that I can create a little curvature. A dart is cut out on the top of the foam to remove excess material to facilitate the curvature. That cutout is then sealed with my gooey gummy contact cement. I found a little circular gourd that I'm going to use to help create a little curvature on the gluteus maximus. It rolls right off the tongue. Here, come on, say it with me. Gluteus maximus. After cutting out 2 strips of 6mm EVA foam to help lock in the curvature in the main body, I cut out 2 semi-spears to create the mouth section. I'm reinforcing the outer curved edges of the semi-spear with 10mm foam to create a thicker lip section. This is one of the things I ended up trimming down later to make adjustments to the project. But I decided to keep it on the video so you'll know exactly how those adjustments were made. Dull blade, gummy contact cement. I'm really going all out Rube Goldberg. I think we'll speed this up so it'll be a little less painful. The 10mm foam is contact cemented to the outer rim. After forming a bit of a curvature with the heat gun, I test fit them on the main body. I'm using one of the curvature strips as a guiding edge. Only the corners are attached with contact cement, giving me the option to make adjustments later. To get a steeper curvature around the eyes, I'm cutting in a couple more darts. To stabilize the top lip, I contact cemented down to the vertical curvature strip. The nose will be created with 10mm EVA foam.
Just as I did with the body, I fold the nose over so I can mark out a mirror image for the other side. To get a little elevation on the back section of the nose, I attach a small piece of 6mm EVA foam. A slight angle is sanded into that rear section of the nose with my Dremel rotary tool to get a better transition on the face. I also use the Dremel tool to smooth and round over the edges. The nose is then attached to the face with my gummy gooey contact cement. A strip of 10mm foam is used to create a bridge for the nose. To create the outline edge for the eyes, I'm utilizing some 10mm EVA foam dowel. At this point, I'm also making my first but not last trim cuts to the lips. I make a continuous loop with the foam dowel across the lips and the eyes, but I'll be trimming that down later to make it a little more realistic. Or should I say, as realistic as any critter can get. I then utilize the same foam dowel to create the lower lips. To seal the eye cavities, I cut some squares of 2mm EVA foam. After applying a layer of foam clay to the face section, I start on creating the upper chest section. I'm attaching another curvature strip to the top section of the body so I can get a proper measurement for the width of the chest. To avoid dealing with my gummy gooey contact cement, I'm going to see how much of this I can actually get done with some instant glue. The edges of the EVA chest section is cut to match the edges of the body. So far I'm having great success with the instant glue, but let's see how long that luck lasts. I'm splitting some EVA foam dowels in half so I can create some abs for my muscular little friend. I also use a piece of that split dowel to create a transition between his neck and face. As you can see here, he looks less like a ferocious critter and more like a crocodile or a frog, so I'm going to have to cut out most of his lip section. I'm cutting it all out even with that transition piece that I made on his neck. I'm mirroring the cut that I made on the lower section of his lip to the top section, while trying not to cut too much of his nose off. I attach a fresh piece of 10mm dowel to the bottom lip with a downward curvature. Unfortunately, because of the rough edges, I have to abandon my instant glue and go back to my gooey mess. After hand forming a downward curvature in the top jaw, I attach the top lip. I attached the top lip in two sections, thinking that it would be a little less stress on the curvature. I used a full dowel for the bottom lip. I'm using a half dowel for the top section. The corners of the top and bottom lips were notched out for a smoother connection. To get a better downward inflection on the face, I separated the nose from the bridge and shoved in a piece of dowel to keep it in position. To create the arms, I attached 3 pieces of 10mm EVA foam dowels and wrapped them in 2mm EVA foam sheets. An angle was cut into each section so it could securely attach to the side of the body with contact cement. The same procedure was used to make his stubby little legs. One thing is for sure, after dealing with this sticky, gooey mess, I'll never allow myself to run out of contact cement again. Now I just have to roll this joint nice and tight. It's a leg joint. After cutting 2.5-inch stubs for his legs, they're contact cemented into place on the body. Foam clay is used to smooth out the transition between the lip sections. Foam clay is also used to smooth out the transition between the arm sections and to fill any cracks and crevices. Another strip of 6mm foam is used to add curvature to project the belly section of the body. While waiting for the contact cement to set up on the strip, I'm going to create his pot belly. My first attempt to do that was to use my gorg again and heat up a strip of 6mm EVA foam. But no matter how much hand stretching or gorg stretching I did, it was clear that that wasn't going to be enough to create the belly that I wanted. So I instant glued the belly section in place and then proceeded to create a series of circles to project the belly out. Okay, yes, I do know what it looks like, but let's keep our minds out of the gutter. All will be well. I made cuts on each side of the belly next to the legs, then wrapped the excess material around the legs. After a preliminary sanding, I got started building the claws for the hands and feet. For those digits, I sanded down some 10mm EVA foam dowel. For both the hands and the feet, I cut 3 pieces of the sanded 10mm EVA foam dowel approximately 2 inches, trimmed them down, and then contact cemented them together. The hands were made slightly smaller than the feet section. The flat section on the bottom of the legs were connected directly to the back section of the 3 connected dowels with contact cement. Sleeves were made out of 2mm EVA foam to connect the hand section to the arms. The entire project was then coated with a layer of foam clay. Now, how the hell did that get there? I don't need that there. I'm sure you already purchased your copy. I'm shoving a thin wire in each digit up the arm so I'll be able to position the fingers. I'll be using small pieces of foam clay to create the claws on the fingertips. After a final sanding, I can coat the entire project with Plasti Dip and paint. To create the eyes, I'm using the plastic nitrogen balls from my can of Guinness Draft. We must never forget that black is beautiful. After cutting the widget in half, it's spray painted and then attached to the eye sockets with instant glue. But before attaching the eyes, I want to add a little bit of shadow and skin texture with the airbrush. To add a bit of sinister look to the eyes, I paint in the lizard-style pupils. After trimming down several dozen resin teeth, I apply them in layers inside the mouth, sealing them all in individually with instant glue. With the bulk of the project finished, it's time to add a little hair to the little fellow. For this, I'll be using the same hair I used for my Krampus build. Make sure you check out my channel for that video. I cut out a little excess first so that I could wrap around the sides. I'll be using adhesive spray to attach the fur to the body. I'll start by applying a generous coat to the back of the critter. I want to pull the material as tight as possible to prevent wrinkles. I'm cutting the material, leaving just enough to wrap around the sides. At some of the points, I wrap the material around itself to prevent hair loss. And that marks the end of this project. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, press that like button, and press the bell notification so you'll be notified when new projects are uploaded. We have some very exciting things ahead.